Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And this is a sit-down lesson on this August the 15th, 2022 at 11:30 a.m. on this Monday morning in the a.m. And this is a news article about two news articles I'm about to bring out. And this is the first one. And this is from RT.com. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads, Beijing slams U.S. congressional visit. I believe it was the lawmakers, U.S. lawmakers visit Taiwan. And, this goes after 2 weeks after Nancy Pelosi's visit of Taiwan. It says Beijing slams the United States congressional visit to Taiwan. And it says the American delegation's trip is a blatant violation of Chinese sovereignty, the foreign ministers have said. It says the U.S. congressional delegation's the 2-day trip to Taiwan has started on Sunday is odd with the one China policy and violates Chinese territorial integrity. The country's foreign minister claims on Monday this is blatant violation on one of China's principle in the provision of the joint Sino-American communities, if I pronounce that right, and Chinese sovereignty and territorial integrity. In addition, it sends a wrong signal to the separatist forces in Taiwan. Wang Wenbin, the spokesperson for the foreign minister, told reporters Wang also urged the United States to adhere the one China principle in order to avoid inflicting even more damage to the relations between Washington and Beijing. Right, because the relations between Washington and Beijing is kind of a little rocky right now at the moment, along with China and the United States as well too. He added that the Chinese people seek national reunification, described it as a historical trend that could not be stopped. It says the Chinese officials promised that Beijing will take decisive steps to protect its national sovereignty, adding that a handful of U.S. politicians are overestimating themselves and their efforts to promote China as separatism will fail. On Sunday, the U.S. congressional delegations comprising 4 Democratic and 1 Republican arrived in Taiwan for a 2-day visit, according to the spokesperson of Senator Ed Murphy, Democrat of Massachusetts. It says, who is heading to the delegation. The group seeks to reaffirm the United States' support for Taiwan and to encourage stability and peace across the Taiwan Strait. And that seems that's not the case. Especially you got increasing tensions with Beijing and Washington and China and United States. And Beijing and China, they still don't like the fact that the United States is pushing that Taiwan being a self-governing country and self-protected, self-care, and, being allies, unofficial allies with Taiwan. And, China is still under that one policy, I believe. And China doesn't like the fact that the United States is having Taiwan to separate themselves from Taiwan. Separate themselves from China, you know, because China still look at Taiwan as one of them, you know, and the United States keep on interfering in that, you know, and that's going to cause a lot more tensions, you know. The congressional trip to the self-governor island came less than 2 weeks after a separate visit by the United States Speaker Nancy Pelosi, sending relations between Washington and Beijing into a tailspin. It says Beijing precede a visit by the second person in line of the presidential succession as a violation of the One China policy, as a violation of one of the China's principles by the highest level power in Washington. Despite the pushback from Beijing, Pelosi said that the trip was totally worth it, adding that China will not be allowed to isolate Taiwan. See, yeah, that's the problem right there, you know, because Beijing and China keep on feeling like, why is the United States is involved in the situation, you know, because China and Beijing feel like, you know, this is their personal business between of relations with, you know, with China and Taiwan, you know, especially under that one governor policy, China one government policy between Taiwan and China. Even though the islands are separated from one another, you know, they still under that one government policy, you know, and the United States keep on pushing Taiwan from that.